There is a moment in every impossible situation when God steps in, and when He does, nothing stays the way it was. Not the diagnosis, not the circumstance, not the closed door, not the broken relationship. When God steps in, everything changes. This is that moment. Yeah. The disciples watched the storm and couldn't see a way. The tomb had been sealed for days without a sound. And every situation that looked permanently finished was the exact same kind of place where God was found. Stepping in, not when the odds were favorable, not when the outcome seemed already guaranteed, but in the dead and darkest, in the most impossible. When God steps in, that's when everything is free. Hey, not gradually. When God steps in, everything changes. Not partially, not partially. When God steps in, everything changes. Hey, the atmosphere shifts when He enters the situation. When God steps in, everything changes. Transformation. When God steps in, everything changes. Nothing stays the same. When God steps in, everything changes. At the sound of His name, every atmosphere that had the wrong thing settled in it. When God steps in, everything changes. From the He decides to intervene in what looks permanent and done. When God steps in, everything changes. Everyone who was watching for the ending gets a different kind of story. When God steps in, everything changes, and the glory goes to the one who changed it. Oh, when God steps in, the same God who split the sea in two for Israel is the same God who is present in your situation now. And what looked like the ending was the setup for the stepping in that nobody could have anticipated. When and how He would move, but He moved and everything changed. When God steps in, everything changes. Water to wine. When God steps in, everything changes. It's yours and mine. When God steps in, everything changes. Even now, He's stepping into what you brought to this album. Oh, not gradually. When God When God steps in, everything changes. He's stepping in right now. When God steps in, everything changes. He's stepping in right now. When God steps in, everything changes. Nothing stays. When God steps in, everything changes. That is name. When God steps in, everything changes. He's stepping in right now. When God steps in, everything changes. Always, always, always. When God steps in, everything changes. Always. When God steps in, everything changes. Yeah. I had written the ending myself in advance. I had already accepted the conclusion I could see. But God has this way of taking the pen back mid-chapter and writing what no human plot could ever be. For the story I was reading as defeat and as conclusion had a chapter that my version hadn't planned. He changed the whole story. That's the testimony. He changed the whole story by His hand, not edited. He changed the whole story, not revised. He changed the whole story. Took the pen back in the middle of the darkest chapter. He changed the whole story, rewrote the ever after. He changed the whole story. I thought I knew the ending. He changed the whole story, and the bending of the narrative towards something I had never seen. He changed the whole story, past where I had been, so certain of the outcome I stepped believing otherwise. He changed the whole story, and I realized that the author holds the pen past every chapter I could write. He changed the whole story, and tonight I'm living in the rewrite. He changed the whole story. Joseph read his story as the pit and then the prison, as the forgotten and the years that seemed to disappear. But the author of the story was assembled in the palace. He changed the whole story, and the tear that Joseph shed when he revealed himself to his brothers was the tear of the one who finally understood. He changed the whole story. What was meant for evil, he changed the whole story into good, not edited. He changed the whole story, not revised. He changed the whole story. Took the pen back in the middle of the darkest chapter. He changed the whole story, rewrote the ever after. He changed the whole story. I thought I knew the ending. He changed the whole story, and the bending of the narrative towards something I had never seen. He changed the whole story, past where I had been, so certain of the outcome I stopped believing otherwise. He changed the whole story, and I realized that the author holds the pen past every chapter I could write. He changed the whole story, and tonight I'm living in the rewrite. He changed the whole story. From the pit, he changed the whole story. From the prison, he changed the whole story. From the conclusion I had written, he changed it. He changed the whole story. When God stepped in, the story you've been reading isn't the final draft.
He changed the whole story.
Joseph's pit wasn't the ending. Lazarus's tomb wasn't the ending. Your situation isn't the ending. He changes the whole story. When he steps in, he's stepping in right now.
He changed the whole story.
I thought I knew the ending.
He changed the whole story.
The rewrite is real.
He changed the whole story.
When God stepped in, he changed the whole story.
Always,
Always, always,
always.
he changed the whole story. There's a difference in every room that he walks into, a shift that isn't manufactured by the program or the plan. The heaviness that's settled in the place before the entering begins to lift the moment he steps in and takes command. Not because the circumstances outside
Changed immediately.
but because the presence that arrived changed everything within. The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
That's the testimony.
Of every room that welcomed him,
It's different from within.
before
He speaks
the atmosphere shifts.
when he enters.
Before
He acts
the atmosphere shifts.
when he enters.
The presence itself is the change that precedes the miracle.
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
It's biblical.
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
Every room
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
through the gloom of what was settled and established
By the enemy, the atmosphere shifts when he enters.
and I see, yeah, the evidence in every space
That welcomed his arrival.
the atmosphere
When
shifts
he enters.
and survival becomes revival when the presence fills the place
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
and the space is never the same again.
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
Paul and Silas sang, and the foundation shook around them, and the earthquake wasn't the point.
The presence was.
For the atmosphere of worship in the darkest midnight prison made the prison into something that it never was. A place of transformation
End of unexpected meeting.
The atmosphere shifts
When he enters.
through the praise,
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
through the raise,
The atmosphere shifts
when he enters.
of the voice.
In the darkest and the most unlikely of locations,
Before he speaks.
the atmosphere shifts.
When he enters.
Before he acts, the atmosphere shifts.
When he enters.
The presence itself is the change that precedes the miracle.
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
It's biblical.
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
Every room
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
through the gloom of what was settled and established
By the enemy.
the atmosphere shifts
When he enters.
and I see the evidence in every space
That welcome his arrival.
the atmosphere shifts
When he enters.
and survival becomes the presence fills the place.
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
And the space is never the same again.
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
In the prison,
In the prison, the atmosphere shifts when he enters.
in the storm,
The atmosphere
shifts in
The atmosphere shifts
right now.
The atmosphere shifts
When God steps
The
in,
atmosphere shifts.
oh, when God steps in, the atmosphere shifts. You don't have to change the circumstances first. Let him enter. The presence itself is the change. The atmosphere shifts when he enters. Invite him into your situation right now. Watch what shifts. He steps in.
When he enters,
Every room,
the atmosphere shifts when he enters.
every room,
The atmosphere shifts when he enters. The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
always, always.
The atmosphere shifts when he enters.
It doesn't take a strategy or an elaborate plan. It doesn't take the cooperation of the circumstance. One word from God is all it's ever taken to turn the whole impossibility around. One chance, one spoken word over the darkness in Genesis, and what was void and formless found its shape. One word from God, that's the pattern of the scripture. One word from God, and nothing can escape the transformation that a single word of his produces. Not a speech,
One word from God.
not a strategy,
One word from God.
the creative power of the spoken word of heaven. One word from God, and everything is given access to a different outcome than before.
One word from God.
And the dead came back to life.
One word from God.
In the end became the start. He speaks one word. One word from God changes everything. In Genesis, He spoke and light appeared. At the tomb, He spoke and Lazarus walked out. On the sea,
He spoke
and the storm obeyed.
one word from God.
Ask for it today.
One word from God.
Is all your situation needs.
One word from God.
And everything changes
One word from God.
at the sound of His voice.
One word from God.
When God steps in, He speaks.
One word from God.
Always, always, oh.
One word from
Acts 16. Suddenly there was a great earthquake. Acts 2. Suddenly a sound like a rushing wind. And the pattern of the suddenly in Scripture is the pattern of how God has always stepped in. Not gradually building from a manageable beginning, but the sudden and the unexpected. And now, suddenly, that's the word that changes everything. Suddenly, God steps in and doesn't show me how. He'll do it before He does it. Just suddenly, not gradually. Suddenly, not predictably. Suddenly, the God who operates in the sudden and the unexpected. Suddenly, and everything is redirected. Suddenly, the prison shook and chains fell off. Suddenly, the Red Sea parted and the crossing caused
nothing.
because God handled it in one dramatic moment.
Suddenly,
And I am the comment
of the testimony.
of the suddenly approaching.
Suddenly,
And I have been coaching
my faith to expect
the sudden and the unexpected moves.
suddenly,
When God steps in, He'll prove that nothing takes too long. Suddenly, I've been waiting in the gradually and the slow for what God has already scheduled as a suddenly. And I'm repositioning my expectation toward the sudden. For the God I serve doesn't always move incrementally. Sometimes He moves in one dramatic intervention.
suddenly,
And the situation is no more.
suddenly,
And what was closed is open.
suddenly,
And what was shut is now a door wide open. And I'm walking through it suddenly, not gradually, not predictably. The God who operates in the sudden and the unexpected. Suddenly, and everything is redirected.
suddenly,
The prison shook and chains fell off.
suddenly,
The Red Sea parted and the crossing caused
nothing.
because God handled it in one dramatic moment.
Suddenly,
And I am the comment
of the testimony.
of the suddenly approaching.
Suddenly,
And I have been coaching my faith to expect the sudden and the unexpected move.
suddenly,
When God steps in, He'll prove that nothing takes too long. Suddenly, God steps in,
suddenly
everything changes.
Suddenly,
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 suddenly, always, always.
Acts 16:26. Suddenly there was a great earthquake. Acts 2:2. Suddenly a sound like a rushing wind. God moves suddenly. You suddenly may be one moment away. One conversation, one phone call, one morning.
Suddenly,
When God steps in, everything changes. Expect a suddenly.
suddenly,
The prison shook and chains fell off.
suddenly,
When God steps in,
suddenly,
everything changed.
always,
Suddenly, always, always,
suddenly,
suddenly. I'm not going to pretend the impossible is easy. I'm not gonna dress it up in language it doesn't deserve. For the middle of impossible is genuinely difficult, and the faith that holds through it takes everything in reserve. But I found that the impossible is where God specializes. That the middle of what can't be done is where He shows. In the middle of impossible,
He steps in.
In the middle of impossible,
He knows
exactly what He's doing with what I can't yet see. Not after the impossible ends.
in the middle of impossible.
Not when it's resolved.
In the middle of impossible.
The stepping in happens inside the unresolved.
In the middle of impossible.
That's where He's involved.
In the middle of impossible.
That's where He steps in.
In the middle of impossible.
That's where it begins. The transformation that no natural explanation covers.
Middle of impossible.
And I discovered that the God
I've been calling on is present in the place. In the middle of impossible.
face to face with what I couldn't handle, and He handled it for me.
In the middle of impossible.
I can finally see when God steps in, everything changes. In the middle, the furnace was the middle of impossible for the three who stood before Nebuchadnezzar and refused. And the fourth man in the fire was the stepping in of God into the middle of the impossible. They'd chosen not the rescue before the fire.
Inside it,
fire,
in the middle of impossible,
in the storm,
in the middle of impossible,
right where I am,
in the middle of impossible,
He steps in.
in the middle of impossible,
When God steps in,
in the middle of impossible,
right in the middle, the three Hebrew men when rescued before the fire,
in the middle of impossible,
God stepped in inside the fire.
in the middle of impossible,
If you're in the middle of your impossible right now,
middle of impossible,
He's already in there with you.
in the middle of impossible,
That's where He steps in. Look for the fourth man. He's already there. He steps in
the middle of impossible,
face to face.
the middle of impossible,
When God steps in, everything changes.
in the middle of impossible,
He's there. He's there.
in the middle of impossible.
I've seen what He did before, and it was enough to build my faith for what I cannot see ahead. But the anticipation of the next thing He is building has become the loudest thing inside my head. For the God who stepped in every time before me has a next thing that exceeds what He has done. Watch what He does next. That's the declaration. Watch what He does next before it's even begun. I'm already positioning my praise for what is coming.
Not just the last time,
Watch what He does next.
not just the testimony,
Watch what He does next. The God who stepped in before, stepping in again.
watch what He does next,
And when He moves, it's going to exceed what came before.
watch what He does next,
I can feel it build.
watch what He does next,
Something God is gilding with the gold of His involvement and His care.
watch what He does next,
And I declare it
before the evidence arrives to validate it, watch what He does next,
and I await it with the faith of the one who's seen enough to trust.
watch what He does next,
And I adjust my expectations upward.
watch what He does next,
Hey, Elisha told the widow Paul, and keep on pouring. Don't stop until you run out of vessels to fill. And the next thing God was doing exceeded every natural calculation. Watch what He does next, and He will outdo what you imagined every single time.
watch what He does next,
For the widow's oil
watch what He does next,
kept flowing.
watch what He does next,
Watch what he does next. The God who stepped in before is stepping in again, and the next thing will exceed the last.
Watch what he does next.
Position your praise for what is coming before you see it.
Watch what he does next.
When God steps in, everything changes.
Watch what he does next.
I can feel it building.
Watch what he does next.
Exceeds what came before.
Watch what he does next.
When God steps in, everything changes.
Watch what he does next.
Now, watch what he does next. Now, watch what he does next. The disciples who encountered him were never the same again. The fishermen became the ones who turned the world upside down. The tax collector walked away from everything he built. The woman at the well ran back into her town with the news that changed the whole trajectory of everything.
Nothing stays the same.
When he steps into a life,
nothing stays the same.
the ordinary becomes extraordinary.
Nothing stays the same.
Through the joy and the strife, he transforms what he touches.
Nothing stays the same.
Not the same fisherman,
Nothing stays the same.
not the same tax collector.
No,
Nothing stays the same. Everyone who genuinely encountered him was changed. Nothing stays the same when God steps and rearranges. Oh,
nothing stays the same.
when God steps in, everything changes.
Nothing stays the same.
Through all the ranges of experience, the dark, the dry, the desperate, nothing stays the same.
God steps in and set it.
On a different course than where it was before.
Nothing stays the same.
And I want more of the kind of transformation that his presence brings. Nothing stays the same.
God steps in and sees.
Over a life,
Nothing stays the same.
hey, Paul was on his way to persecute the believers when the light from heaven knocked him off his horse. Hey, and the man who got back up was not the same man who had fallen.
Nothing stays the same.
When God intervenes and course, corrects with the authority of the
Suddenly,
nothing.
stays the same.
From Saul to Paul,
Nothing stays the same.
from fisher to apostle,
stays the same.
When God steps in,
Nothing stays the same.
everything changes.
Nothing stays the same.
Everyone who genuinely encountered Jesus walked away different.
Nothing stays the same.
No, not the fisherman,
Not the tax collector.
not the woman at the well.
Not Paul on the Damascus
When
road.
God steps in,
Nothing stays the same.
your encounter is happening right now. Nothing stays the same.
Nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same.
Nothing stays the same.
When God steps in, everything changes.
Nothing stays the same.
Never the same.
Nothing stays the same. When God steps in, nothing stays the same.
Ever, ever, nothing stays the same.
Oh, yeah. I wanna tell you what it looks like on the other side of the stepping in that only God can do. When what was sealed and what was over and what was final became the place where God came stepping through. For the testimony of the one who's been through the impossible is the loudest and the most compelling kind. God stepped in and changed it all.
That's what I carry.
Into every room, the evidence designed, hey, by the intervention of the God who changes everything. The evidence is here.
God stepped in and changed it all.
The testimony is real.
God stepped in and changed it all.
Oh, what was finished became the starting line of something new. Hey, God stepped in
And changed it all.
and I came through.
God stepped in and changed it all.
I am the evidence,
God stepped in and changed it
the
all.
residents of every room I now inhabit testify to it.
God stepped in and changed it all.
Every bit of what the enemy assembled as my permanent
God
address.
stepped in and changed it all.
I confess I didn't see it coming, but he saw it all
God
along.
stepped in and changed it all.
And this is my song from the other side.
God stepped in and changed it all.
Hey, the spoil of every battle that the Lord has fought for me is more than 3 days carrying could contain. And I am walking in the overflow of his intervention. God stepped in
And changed it all.
the game exceeds the loss by more than I can calculate.
God stepped in and changed it all.
And the weight
God stepped in and changed it all.
of every season
God stepped in and changed it all.
had a reason that the stepping it revealed when and changed it all. You are the evidence. The story you're living right now is the testimony of a God who stepped in. God stepped in and changed it all. Give him the glory. Tell somebody what he did. God stepped in and changed it all. Oh, God stepped in and changed it all. I am the evidence. God stepped in and changed it all. This is my song. God stepped in and changed it all. When God stepped in, everything changes. God stepped in and changed it all. Glory, 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 yeah. God stepped in and changed it all. The disciples had locked the door for fear, and Jesus walked right through it. Walls mean nothing when he shows up. The barrier that seemed impenetrable is suddenly the place where transformation's coming. From the locked room to the upper room,
Same room, different,
when he showed up, everything moved.
including me.
When he showed up, everything moved.
The immovable
When he showed up, everything moved.
became free.
At the presence of the one who changes everything.
The locked door moves.
When he showed up, everything moved.
Every stone moved.
When he showed up, everything moved.
Every obstacle a symbol
To prevent the moving,
When he showed up, everything moved.
proving that nothing stands when he decides to enter.
When he showed up, everything moved.
Mountains and mindsets.
Mindsets.
Oh,
When he showed up, everything moved.
every limit sets itself aside when he arrives to take his place.
When he showed up, everything moved.
And the grace of his arrival rearranged what I had called immovable
When he showed up, everything moved.
and provable. He's the testimony of every life he's touched and changed.
When he showed up, everything moved.
Rearranged by his presence.
When he showed up, everything moved.
Lazarus was 4 days into what looked like forever when Jesus showed up, and everything changed in a word. The stone moved, the grave clothes fell, the dead man walked out living. When he showed up, everything moved. And I heard, hey, the same authority available When he showed up at the tomb, everything moved. The stone, the grave closed, the dead man. When he showed up in the locked room,
everything moved.
Walls, doors, fear,
Everything moved.
when he showed up in the storm,
Everything moved.
wind, waves, terror.
Everything moved.
When he shows up in your situation,
Everything moved.
he's showing up right now. Everything is about to move. When he showed up,
Everything moved.
mountains and mindsets.
When he showed up, everything moved.
He's showing up now.
When he showed up, everything moved.
When God steps in,
Everything changes.
when he showed up, everything moved.
Everything moved.
Hey, everything moved.
When he showed up.
When he showed up. People ask me how I made it through the season, that by every calculation should have broken what I had. And I don't have a complicated or impressive answer. I just point to the one who turns the worst into the glad.
That's what God does.
He takes the impossible and changes it.
That's what God does.
Consistently and faithfully across the years.
That's what God does.
And my testimony is the evidence.
That's what God does.
Through every one of my fears, yeah. He shows up in the middle, that's what God does.
He changes what is permanent.
That's what God does.
He writes the chapter
That no human hand could write.
That's what God does.
Day and into night,
That's what God does.
he steps in when it's impossible.
Yes, God does.
The irresponsible faith that declares he will do it again is actually wisdom.
That's what God does.
Through every schism between what I could see and what he was building,
That's what God does.
always filling the gap between the promise and the evidence,
That's what God does.
with the confidence of the one who always has.
That's what God does.
He parted seas and he raised the dead and fed the thousands. And he healed the blind and calmed the storm with words. Hey! And the testimony of 2,000 years of stepping in is that that's what God does. Hey! It's always been his pattern to step in when everything says over.
That's what God does.
He redeems the time.
That's what God does.
He rewrites the story.
That's what God does.
2,000 years of it.
That's what God does.
Across every generation.
That's what God does.
In my own life.
That's what God does.
And He'll do it again.
That's what God does.
When God steps in.
That's what God does.
Oh, that's what God does. He steps in. He changes things. He rewrites the story. He shows up in the middle of the impossible. 2,000 years of testimony confirm it. And the same God who did it then is doing it right now.
That's what God does.
And He's doing it in your situation today.
That's what God does.
He steps in when it's impossible.
God does.
Always filling the gap.
God does.
When God steps in, everything changes. That's what God does.
Always.
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 Oh.
That's what God does. At the close of this album, I arrive where I began, with the same declaration, but a deeper understanding. For the God who steps in and changes everything has been stepping in throughout this album's unfolding and expanding. Of every angle of the truth of His intervention, everything changed when He came in. That's the testimony.
Everything changed when He came in.
And the story,
everything changed when He came in.
I am carrying out of this album is the one He wrote when He stepped in. Not the same after.
Everything changed when He came in.
Not partially.
Everything changed when He came in.
The comprehensive and the total transformation. Everything changed when He came in.
That's the declaration
that carries me from this album into every season ahead. Everything
changed when He came in.
This is testimony.
Everything changed when He came in.
Not phony, not performed or manufactured or arranged by human hands.
Everything changed when He came in.
And the plans I have for where this story would resolve.
Everything changed when He came in.
And solve is too small a word for what He actually did. Everything changed
when He came in.
And I rid myself of every lesser expectation.
Everything changed.
Everything changed. Hey, and to the one who hasn't yet experienced the stepping in, who came to this album with the hope that God would move it.
Everything changed when He came in.
Is the promise waiting for the one who holds the faith to prove that God steps in for everyone who calls on Him. Everything changed when He came in, and He'll step in for you.
Everything changed when He came in.
The declaration, everything changed
when He came in,
is coming true. For the one who keeps on calling, He your expectation.
Everything changed.
At the sea, at the sea,
Everything changed when he came in.
at the tomb,
Everything changed when he came in.
in my story,
Everything changed when he came in.
and in yours.
Everything changed
When God steps in,
Everything changes.
always.
Everything changes.
As this album ends, declare your testimony. Everything changed when he came in. Whatever he stepped into in your life, name it, own it, declare it. Everything changed when he came in. And for the one still waiting for the step, he is stepping in right now. When God steps in, everything changes.
Everything changes.
He came in,
Everything changed.
and everything is still changing. Oh, everything changed.
Everything changed when he came in.
Testimony,
Everything changed when he came in.
still changing.
Everything changed when he came in.
When God steps in, everything changes.
Everything changed. Everything changed.
Everything changed.
Everything changed.
Always.
Everything changed
When he came in.